Well, welcome back. We've been gone for a little bit, and so the Al Heron Talks podcast is back. We got our full complement of players, as Benita Love is actually in the city of Dallas, or in DFW. She's normally all over the place, Mississippi a lot. So she is here today, and of course she's going to be here because we have a very special guest, one of your favorite guests from the past, because we get comments about Nancy's all the time. Everybody wants to know more about Nancy because she's kind of extra like that, right?
Be here this time.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Because you weren't here for the first
time. Yeah, I had to watch it.
Yeah. So we're opening up our return with a very favorite guest, one of my favorite real estate agents out there. And I get in trouble because I say people are my favorite
But at
agents.
this point, you say about 5, 6, 7, 8 people now. So
It's up to about 5, 6, 7, 8.
But I'm number one.
So Nancy, yes, you can be number
She's
one.
a number one.
Yeah. So we've got a very special guest, and it's great to bring her on right now because there's so much that is happening in the real estate industry. And a lot of different news and things that people are hearing different things out there. But Nancy is the type who is like, look, this is the way I conduct my business. I have a very high standard. My goal is to help people acquire home ownership and help people sell their homes. And no matter what's going on out there, that's what it's going to be, right? And so she's more of a thermostat. She's not a thermometer. And so many people, not just in real estate, but in life, are thermometers. And they just acclimate to the climate. And the climate is normally set for them. But when you have exceptional people like Nancy who they're like, no, I'm the thermostat. I'm going to set the climate. I'm going to set the temperature. And people like that, they win. They succeed at the highest level. And so we wanted to bring her back today just to kind of talk about how her last year was, which was incredible. Last time we were on, we were talking about her year before, which was incredible. But I mean, she just stays better and better. And Marcella, who is our producer, is here today. So Marcella, welcome back to the podcast. So let's get started. And first, just welcome Nancy Garcia to the podcast today. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, anytime. Look, you can come like every time. We'll do a whole series with you. And the last time you were here, we got to learn about kind of how you got started in this and kind of what your motivation was. And you had done some really incredible things already at that point. But, I mean, last year you just kind of blew the roof off of it. And it looks like so far this year it's even better when everybody out there is saying that it's much tougher. And you have a lot of people saying, I can't do this. The interest rates are too high. There's nobody who can buy a house. I can't get anybody approved. Yeah. But for you, and we'll just talk about the month of March.
Yeah.
How many closings did you have in March?
I had 16 closings.
16 closings by yourself in the month of March.
Yes,
wow.
By myself. And a lot of those closings, it was new builds that I had put under contract at the beginning of the year, and a lot of them were pre-owns as well. But it was 16 in total, and I was going crazy.
Yeah, it seems, I think for most people when they hear that, they're like, especially agents, because agents know.
Oh, I had some tell me I don't even close that in a year.
Yeah.
That's generous for some people. That might be a couple, 2-3 years for some people, right?
Yeah.
And so most people are like, that is unrealistic. They think, I can't do that. How can anybody do that, right? And but for you, you're like, well, we're good. So I guess let's kind of just start from jump. If we're taking an agent or just anybody who wants to even get into this business, and they look at you and they say, I want to be like that. How would we define what it is that you do? How are you able to do this and do this at this level? What is that element or that defining characteristic about you that allows you to perform on this level?
I think the most important thing, you have to work very, very hard. I work every single day. Like, I do not take any days off. I work Monday to Sunday, and I'm there for my clients. When they need me, I'm there. So I think a lot of agents think it's easy, and it's not. Like, you have to be working every day. You know, social media presence is a big one for me because I have to be posting. Well, I don't have to, but I know that if I post, I'm going to get clients, because every time I do a post, it doesn't have to be about real estate. I get somebody messaging me, I'm ready to buy the house, or I'm ready to buy a house. So that's how I feel like, you know, it helps me a lot with the social media. And then they see me working every day, and they're like, oh, I want to work with her because she's a hard worker. I see her working every single day on the weekends, staying late in her office. So that's why you see me posting a lot of what I do, so they can see, you know, that I will help them.
Right. So you do a very good job of documenting the life, not just the life of a real estate agent, but specifically the life of Nancy Garcia, real estate agent, right? And I think people see that and they're very impressed with how hard you work, but you go beyond just, so I always get in trouble doing this kind of stuff because people think I'm talking about, everybody thinks I'm talking about them if I say it. So, you know, because we have a lot of real estate agent friends. And so, and I just commented this the other day. So social media for most real estate agents is showing a house, doing a home tour. And it appears to me, it almost even looks like they're all doing the same house.
Well,
it feels like it's, you said some are. But they all look the same, and they all start the same way. We go up the driveway, we have you open the door, then we go past you and look at all. And so what happens then, it all just blends together. You don't stand out. I don't know anything else about you. The house might be a beautiful house, but it looked just like the one I saw 2 reels ago. And so everybody starts copying each other, and they kind of wash each other out. And I think that's what provides that lane for somebody like Nancy, because Nancy, she understands that being different and showing herself differently allows you to gain market share, because everybody else is so busy being the same that you stand out. So can you talk about that in the mindset there? Because most people are scared to be different.
And you don't really do the home tours a lot, do you?
No. I said I was going to do more of that this year, which I have done one so far because I don't have the time. But I do, you know, I think it's nice to have, but not all the time. You know, I just once a month maybe post one, but I don't, if you go to my page, you don't see any home tour. You see closing pictures and pictures of myself or my family, but you don't really see a lot of home tours. And when I show homes on the weekends, I do document like how many homes I showed, how many clients I showed, so they can see, you know, what I'm doing on the weekend as well. And if I go out after work, then, you know, I show that as well.
And I like that because it shows the true life of a real estate agent, right?
People want to see the real you. They want to see who you are, not just you as an agent.
Right. Now, the home tours have a place, and they're great. One of the best at it is your good friend, our good friend, Connie Segovia. She's got that down to a science. Started this. Right, exactly. So then you get somebody who does that and is kind of the standard for that. Well, they're good. So, but then everybody else who comes along and tries to copy it start, you know, you start looking like a copy, right? And it's not the same. And so, so I'm not ever speaking against doing that, because I think that is very helpful. And you look at her success as obviously very good. But for the most part, if somebody has that cornered already, somebody's already got that market, right? Go find something your thing, right? Find something else and be really good at it.
So when I started real estate, I knew I wanted to be different because I will look and see what other agents were doing here in Texas. So what I would do, I would put hashtag Realtor California or Realtor New York. And I wanted to see what they were doing. That way I wouldn't look like the other realtors in Texas. So when I started real estate, and I have the videos, I used to do those home tours. And it was like nobody else was doing it, but I was copying a realtor from, I think, New York that started doing them, talking and going in the house. So when I used to have listings, I would just do it for my listings. So when I had listings, my photographer used to record me and tour the home, which it worked really good. Now I don't have the time to be doing one for every listing that I have, but it did help me grow my social media because I was different from the other agents. But that was my first thing, because I've always been extra and I want to be different from other agents. So I will go in there and hashtag realtor anywhere, and I will copy them. I will not copy any realtors in Texas because I wanted to stand out and look different.
Right. And so now so I think there has to be a continual evolution of that, right? So
Yes.
as you do certain things, now other people are starting to copy that.
Yes.
So then how do you know when it's time to take the next step or do something else? How are you guided that way?
I mean, I don't look at it that way. I just come up with ideas every time. Like, you can ask my lender, Joella. I'll text her at 2 a.m. I have an idea. We have to do this. Like, now we do like funny reels or funny videos. So I told her, be camera ready. I told her, I'm going to go to your office and we're going to do it. Because she's really busy as well.
Sure.
So I try not to take her time. I just tell her, be ready. It will take. And now we call it pros because now we do it once or twice and we get it done. Before we used to have to do it like 10 times before we got one right.
Right.
So I try to, just be different and think of different ideas that are going to work for social media. But definitely, the reels are working right now. And it doesn't have to be all about real estate. It can be different. Just like the other day, I get a lot of messages on how do I do my hair? How do I get so much volume? And a lot of girls are always telling me, hey, can you do a tutorial? Can you do a class? So I posted, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a class and I'm going to teach you how to do the hair. And I'm also going to be giving away a Dyson, which is the machine, the hair tool that I use.
Okay.
And I put a little question mark and, a poll to see how many. And there was 250 people that said yes to that.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, wow, what am I going to do with 250 people? But, it's just different stuff. And they love it. They always ask me, and I always post my outfit of the day.
Right.
Not always, but I try. And they're always messaging me like, what are you wearing? And, okay, hey, and I'm interested in buying a house. Or, oh, my brother's looking. Or, it's just, that's just the way that it works for me.
Well, I was messing with Eddie Burns, the CEO of Monument, and I told him I think he's now trying to copy you because he's doing his outfit of the day. I was like, what's going on, right? And where'd you get this idea?
Yeah.
And so he does his outfit. He doesn't do it as well as you, right? But he's getting there, and it shows some personality, right? It shows it makes the person more than just the name or we get to know. We feel like we know them a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another way that I do it as well is when I started, I contacted my friend. She's an influencer on social media, on Instagram, and she's been my friend for years. And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to start doing live videos with you. That way, your followers can start following me and we can get business that way. So we started like that. We started doing live videos, and then we started doing giving away every 10 minutes, giving away a gift card, because you want to keep the people there, engaged and make sure they stay there till the end. So we used to do gift cards every 10 minutes. And at the end, we used to give something big. And that's how our lives would be really good. We used to do them almost every month. And then, we start getting busy and we will do them like once every 3 months. But now we're actually going to start again. And she came up with an idea because she always gets, the way she grew her following was like getting deals on everything, from Target, from everything. So she's able to get deals to Disneyland.
Okay.
So she said, what about we're going to do lives and we're going to give a Disney trip to a family.
Oh, you're going to have a
And
big audience.
oh my God, yes. So I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So she came to the office. We did a video. Our lives are coming back and we're giving a Disney trip. And wow, like we have
I'm sure everybody's already flooded.
Yeah,
that.
so just imagine, and then to keep him engaged in the live, we're going to be giving keywords every live, and after the fourth or fifth live, that's when they have to give us the whole keyword name, and then they enter to win. So that's going to keep him engaged to watch us the whole live,
Right.
and we're going to be talking about real estate, and the lives were something that worked so much for us, and
Right.
I think this is going to I told you, like, you better have your people ready because we're going to be super busy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is good.
So it's just we think about different stuff, just
Right. So you're not having to sit there and think about, okay, everybody's starting to try to do what I'm doing. I need to do something different. You just like it's in you to come up with new things anyway. So you're always trying to.
Yes. And you have to invest in your business as well. Obviously, we pay her for the lives. We're going to give money for that. You have to invest for you to get some in return.
Right. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand that that this is a business, and most businesses, that's the way it works. You pay into you. There's a return on investment that you're seeking, so you invest in your business. Yeah. A lot of people think, oh, I just want to go here. I don't want to pay anything for this. I want to go find the brokerage. I don't have to pay anything for. I want to.
Just like closing gifts, like I make sure I give a closing gift to every client that I have, and and they love them. You know, I don't do the baskets stuff anymore. I started doing that when I first started, but I don't have the time to be going to the store and getting baskets. But I well,
and for you though, because you are not going to let somebody else do the basket because you're hands on everything.
Yes, I have to do it.
So that's why you had to move away from that, because I'm sure you had to go pick everything that was in it, and you probably picked it specific to the client.
Yeah. So it took me a while to figure out what's something that they're going to like and they're going to use for the house, which I give them. It's like the Alexa Dot, and it moves with you. It's the big one of the screen, which it's about $260 to $300. But every client that I give it to loves it. The kids can watch YouTube while they're cooking, and it's in the kitchen. So now that I know that they like it, I order in bulk. Gotcha. And I have them there, and I already have them ready. So when I have a closing, I just take it with me and give it to them.
So when you have 16 closings, you already have them ready.
I have my outfits ready, and I have my closing gifts ready. Yes.
All right, so tell me okay, so 16 closings. Then you said, oh, well, then this month I only had, what do you say, 3 or 4? Yeah. And there are a lot of people right now going, that's what I want. Yeah. Can I have 3? Yeah. Right. And then, but next month,
I think it's going to be 17 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. Joella wants me to get to 20, but I tell her no, that's too much.
I want you to get to 22. I want you to get to 20.
It's only like 3 more.
But it's already the end of the month. Okay. She's like, we can close in 25 days. Yeah. I was like,
I want you to go. Yes, anybody out there listening to this and you're thinking about buying right now, you've been on the fence. She has an incentive to get you into that place before the end of next month. We want you to get 20.
Yes.
And no pressure. Just
my calendar's already full. I don't think I can add any more.
Come on.
Okay, so Nancy, how does this work though, logistically? So you've got this many clients. So how many new clients do you think you take on every month?
Every month, I think. Well, leads itself. Like every time someone messages me on Instagram or texts me that they're ready to buy a house, I get their name, number, and email. And this is a mistake that a lot of agents do. They contact them and they say, I want to start the process. And obviously the first step is to apply with the lender, right? So they just send them the link or, hey, here, go ahead and apply. Right. I don't do that because there's a lot of clients that will not apply. They will not, go and spend the time doing the link. So what I do, I tell them, give me your name, number, and email. And my lender will reach out to go over the application or do an appointment with you. And it has worked a lot because if the client, doesn't fill out the application, my lender already has their info and they're going to be, reaching out to make sure that they're turning in documents and doing that. So that's why I have a pipeline review with Joella. I try to have it, once a week where we go over all the clients that I have sent, make sure, okay, this one turned in docs, this one's fixing their credit, this, that way we can keep up with the clients. But I think in a month, I send probably 20 to 25 leads. And out of those 20, 25 leads, there's probably like 10 approved clients. Okay. That are looking. Like right now, I think I have around, because I just went over my pipeline, probably like 15 to 20 pre-approvals, which, they haven't started. They already got pre-approved. I have them on a portal. They're looking and, ready to buy.
And then the other thing too, so with something like that, and as they come in, so what is that process? Because you post your social media stuff. Your social media is always out there working for you, and we're saying that is the bulk of where your leads are coming from,
and referrals,
and obviously referrals. As you close all these people that start.
I've never taken a lead I've never done a lead.
Okay. Yeah. So all of these are basically self-generated, and so as your social media is working for you. And then you get that message either. So I'm on your social media. I see something on Instagram, and I send you a message. Yeah. Hey, I think. Well, do they all? Let's not do it like that because I made it real easy by that. Let's just say they respond by saying, "Hey, this is a great video." Yes. They've not indicated necessarily that I want to buy something or sell something, but I've just reached out to tell you I enjoy the video. Yes. How do you respond to that? Because something tells me you don't just kind of let that make it.
Well, I'm not a pushy person,
Uh-huh.
so if they don't talk about real estate, I don't want to bring it up to them.
Okay.
Unless they ask me, oh, how are the rates, or then I will start talking to them. But
Okay.
if they just say, oh, it's a nice video, I just say, oh, thank you so much. Like, I respond. I don't leave them. There's a lot of people that leave messages on red, and I won't do that unless, it goes to another folder and I don't see it. But I try not to be pushy and say, oh, are you ready to buy? Because you don't want to push them away.
Sure.
So I try to, unless they tell me something about they're ready to buy or ask a question, then I will go in. And a thing that I love about Instagram is that I have, there's a folder. So when somebody messages me, hey, I'm ready to buy, what's the first step? I already have messages saved for each type of client: Spanish, English, recruiting. If it's an agent wanting to join, I have the messages saved where I just click and it sends. And it's already asking them for their name, number, and email for me to reach out. They send it to me, and then we, that's how we do it. Yes, which I love it, because sometimes I can be busy and I don't have time to think, what I'm going to reply. So I already have all those messages saved. That way, when they message me, I reply to them right away. It doesn't take me like the whole day to reply to them, because if I didn't have that, it probably will, because I'm busy all day, and then till the end of the day, I start checking my messages. But no, with that, I just send it to them, and they reply with their name, number, and email. And I'm a phone person. I like to talk to them over the phone. I don't like, texting.
Okay.
To me, is talking to them over the phone or meeting them in person.
Okay. And so then obviously so it's key that you respond. So you don't leave, even if it's just something that's generic as I like the video, you'll respond. Even if it's just saying thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
or
it.
Put a heart, or, just responding. And another thing that works a lot for me is when I post a video, talking about, like the other day, and I received an email from this new builds that they were having a promotion. They were having 10,000 off the price, and they had homes like in the 220s and special interest rates. So I recorded and I said, hey, I just received this email. If anybody's interested, send me a message. And I put the little question box. And in that question box, I get so many people. And those people are because they're ready. They're interested in buying. So those are the people that whenever they send me a message out of that, then I do reach out. Are you ready to buy? And
So your question on just that example right there. So in the question box, what is your question to them?
So I really don't put a question. I just put the question mark and
For
say,
them to
if you're interested, send me a message. So they will send me like, oh, how does it work, or what cities are these homes? And so I know those people are the ones that are interested in buying, and I get a lot of people that way. Every time I post about something and you put that little question mark, you get that's leads. You get there's sometimes in one day I send like 20 to Joella's team, which I know they're like, there goes Nancy again.
Now, I'm sure they're very happy to have Nancy.
Yeah.
They're glad Nancy is going there again. So I'm sure they're happy about that.
When they do reply to your question saying, hey, what city is it in, or, what's this, like, okay, then you let them know what city, then what?
Yeah, so I let them know what city, and then if they don't reply, I said, are you interested in starting the process? And then that's when I ask for their name, number, and email. And I like to answer the questions with a video. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. They ask me a question, and I like to, that way the other people see it. And then I put another question mark in case somebody else is interested in that same question, then they can leave me another question mark. So sometimes I have to go through each video and take screenshots of all the people that message me through there. So responding to the messages with a video. That's why I like those little question marks, because that's how you can respond to them with the question. And it doesn't show who asked the question. Right. It just shows the question.
Okay. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's good. So how did you get, is it just through trial and error, just through experience? How did you get so well versed at social media for this stuff? Is it just doing it? Just
doing it and just thinking outside the box. What works? What can work? And, sometimes there's people that don't send me a message. It just stays blank. But I keep doing it until, I see what works and what doesn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
What, I know, like, agents are, like, notoriously known for being unorganized and stuff. Are you?
Oh, I'm not organized.
Right. So that's what I thought. So how do you keep up with everyone? Because like, do you have a CRM? I guess I know you said you and Joella have a pipeline and everything.
I actually just started my CRM. My assistant is helping me with my CRM. She just started, putting everybody in there, but my assistant helps me a lot. She's my transaction coordinator, and she's also my assistant. So anything that I need, she's there to help me. She helps me with the team. She sets up our meetings. She, if I didn't have her, there was no way. Like I could keep up with everything. And, I tell agents, if you're a busy agent and you don't have a transaction coordinator, you need to get one, because it took me a while to get one, because I'm the type of person that wants to do everything on her own to make sure it gets done right. But when I finally did it, I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Like, it's the best. Like, the time that you spend uploading documents and reaching out to title, that's time that you can be posting content, reaching out to clients, you know. So for all the agents, I recommend a transaction coordinator 100%. Obviously, if you have the time and you don't do as many deals, then no. But if you do a lot of deals and you want to, you know, your production will double.
Sure, without a doubt.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
And that's why I say you have to invest in the business, because you have to pay, but it does help a lot.
Exactly. The if somebody's out there right now, the whole conversation about interest rates and things becoming too expensive, and you can't buy anything under $350,000, yet you seem to still find clients and find houses and make stuff happen for price ranges that I didn't think existed anymore. So how are you doing that?
You just have to keep informed with, you know, especially new builds. Right now, the new builds are the ones that are offering the special interest rates, the lowest price points. And not all the new builds are on the MLS. You have to drive, you have to ask. And, you know, when I started real estate, I will go to all the new builds offices and get the sales agent's information and give him my email. Hey, send me any promotion. So that's why my email, every time I check, I get a promotion from the sales agents. And that's how I keep informed. Because if you're just looking at the MLS, not driving, not doing that, you're not going to know. I have a lot of agents that when I post homes and they're like, hey, where is that? I didn't know about that community. Well, obviously I do give them the information, but it's just you have to go out there and you know, network and know the sales agents, give them your information, and that's how you're going to get that relationship with them. There's sometimes that they have like a red tag event and they send me, I'm like the first one that gets like all the discounted house from them, because they know, you know,
that you'll have somebody for them.
Yes. Right. And if it's not me, it's my team. I send it over to the team, or, you know, and it's, you have to work hard to get there. You know, you can't just sit there and think, oh, well, we'll see if something comes
I remember
up.
I went to a new build community, and they're like, oh, what brokerage you with? I'm like, Monument. Oh, yeah, we know Nancy. I was like,
yeah, especially D.R. Horton. I do a lot of D.R. Horton homes. I think I'm like their one or second that I've sold so many homes with them. But, you know, they're affordable. It's a good builder, and they offer so many incentives for the clients. And that's what I really like. And I love explaining to the clients, you know, what you will get with the pre-owned and what you're getting with the new build, and with the same price range. So a lot of agents do ask me, how do you do so many new builds? I tell them, you know, a lot of my clients, they don't want new builds. When I first talk to them, they want pre-owns. But what I do, I set them up in a portal. I take them to go see the pre-owns first. Once they see them and I know they're not liking them, I'm like, you know that you can get a brand new house for the same price, with warranty, with the special interest, with this. And they're like, you know what, well, let's go. I'm like, let's go look at it. You know, you might like it. And we go in, they see the model, it's beautiful. They're like, okay, we want it. Right. Because they see, you know, the difference. But I still show them the pre-owns. That way they can see the difference, you know. And I'm not talking bad about pre-owns, because I've sold a lot of pre-owns. But, you know, sometimes the clients need that special interest to be able to qualify, or they need the assistance from the builder. So you have to see. And what we do, Joella and I, when we get a client, obviously they can get approved for $500,000, but that doesn't mean that they can afford a $500,000 payment right now because of the interest rates. And also there's clients that are approved for $500,000, but they don't have the money for the down payment. So the first thing we ask is, how much money do you have for the down payment? And depending on what they tell us, that's how we base, okay, well, we need to do this. We need to send them, like, for example, the city of Garland gives $15,000 towards closing costs. And it's an assistant that does not, you know, like regular DPA, your interest rate goes up. If you get that $15,000 does not affect the interest rate. So when we get a client that does not have enough money for the down payment, we think right away, okay, Garland. And if they're interested in Garland, obviously, but they get $15,000. And if I can get assistance from the seller, when I submit the offer, I try to get $5,000, $10,000, depending on how long the house has been on the market. But we had people come into closing with $0 because of that assistance. So when they tell us, oh, we only have $2,000, I'm like, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to, you know, let's go to the city of Garland. Let's try to look at homes that have been sitting on the market, because those are the ones that are going to give you, incentives. The seller's going to want to pay for title policy and give us, closing costs. So we have to talk to them. There's agents, if the buyer tells them I don't have anything, they're like, oh, well, then you can't buy.
Right.
Obviously, they have to have enough for, the earnest money and inspections. But, I had one that he only had $2,000.
Okay.
And he's approved for $300,000. So obviously, we put an offer for a $300,000 home, and the earnest money is, well, it's negotiable, but it's usually 1%. Mm-hmm. But I talked to the agent. I called her. I'm like, look, he's getting the $15,000 from the city of Garland, and he's also, you're going to help us with this amount, and we can make it work. And she's like, you know what? You're being honest. Let's do it. We'll help him. And now the $2,000 that he put as earnest money, he's getting it back at closing. So he's putting nothing down.
That's great.
So you just have to, ask the questions and make sure that, and another thing that I do, especially right now with the interest rates being high, I want him to go over payments with Joella before we even see a house, because right now not everybody can afford those payments. Right. So when they send me a list of the homes they want to see, I make a list and I get the payments from Joella. I send them to them. I'm like, are you comfortable with these payments?
Right.
If they say yes, or you know what, take this one off. And that saves me time, because you're not going to go look at houses that they cannot afford. So I do that with all my clients.
Well, it puts them in the right frame of mind, too.
Yes.
So they don't have a real perspective. They just see this house. I like this house, and here's the price of it. But when you send back to them, hey, well, this is what it's going to cost.
Especially because some taxes are so high.
Yeah,
so I'm like, hey, this house has really high taxes. So let me get the payment estimate and see if you're comfortable with it, and before we even schedule. And that saves me a lot of time, because before, I remember I used to go, and then they wanted to submit an offer, and I'm like, and then they found out about the payment. They're like, oh, no, that's too high. And, that's time that
was spent
waste,
that didn't have to be spent.
Yes,
because
so that's something that I do now. Every Friday before I schedule any showings, I send them the payment estimates, because I don't only show one client. I show 2, 3, 4, 5 sometimes. So I have to make sure.
Okay, so then take us through your day then.
I was going to ask the same thing.
So how do we organize the day? And I know you're not, you kind of, we always joke about you being Beyonce. You kind of got a Beyonce lifestyle, because you don't wake up at the crack of dawn either. You kind of.
I'm not a morning person. Well, today I did. I woke up at 5:30.
Oh, really? What prompted that?
To go work out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My friend, she lives really close to my house, and she's like, we go to Hot Works now, which I'm loving Hot Works.
Okay.
And
Hot Works is like hot yoga kind
so
of.
It has everything.
It's little rooms of like saunas, and you go in and do the bike. They have everything.
Okay.
And I like it because it's 24 hours. So sometimes I leave the office at 11 p.m. I go straight there to work out. So she knows I work out at night, but she's like, hey, I have a busy day. Should we just do it in the morning and get it over with?
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think so. But I don't know if I'll wake up, but I'll try.
Okay.
Because I'm a night owl. I'll stay up really late. So I think I went to sleep like around 12:30, almost 1. I had to wake up at 5:30. So coffee's keeping me awake right now.
Okay. Okay. So generally, though, you're normally up at what?
I think around 8:30 at night. Okay. And the reason people are like, how? You have kids, they go to school. So my mom stays at my house Monday to Friday. And she takes care of my kids. She takes care of the house. She cooks. She cleans. Oh. So that helps me a lot. Yeah. So that means that I don't have to wake up to get them ready for school. My mom is there doing it for me. And they always ask, how can you stay at the office so late? And your kids.
I never even thought about that.
They're well taken care of with my mom. Well, one of them's already 19.
Oh, yeah.
Which his job right now is putting up my signs, picking up his brother from school, taking him to school. So he's helping me a lot with that, because my mom doesn't drive.
Oh,
so,
okay.
He's the one that picks him up from school, takes him to soccer practice. And even if I'm that busy, I still make time to go to his soccer games.
We notice that.
That's
see
something
that
I try my best to make it to the soccer. So when I schedule all my showings on Fridays for the weekend. And I look at my schedule to see what games he has. Okay. And I try to look at the time. Sometimes it doesn't work because there's clients that are coming out of town. They can only see a certain time. Right. But I get his schedule first, and then I get my client's schedule first, and then that's how I schedule all my showings, So Fridays, I try not to show houses because that's the time I take to schedule for the weekend.
Okay. Yes. So then Friday is okay. All right. So you schedule for the weekend. How often are you showing across the week, or do you try to show everything on the weekend?
I try not to show during the week.
Okay.
And a lot of my clients don't like to show during the week, but
Okay.
there is some homes that just hit the
You
market
gotta
and
do
they
it.
want to see it. Then I do. I
Gotcha.
stop what I'm doing, and especially because I have closings during the week. So it's really hard to go around this schedule. And a lot of my clients, if they want to see during the week, is like after 5. So it makes it easier for me. But if I know a lot of agents are like, you're crazy. You want to show on the weekends instead of during the week. But I do, because
Gotcha.
Monday to Friday, I like to, you know, do my content, sit down, make sure everything's in order, make sure my clients are on the portal, and, you know, go over my pipeline with Joella. So I try not to show during the week, but there is clients that want to, and I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I guess you have also days where you have said, okay, because you there's content you post every single day, and not just once a day. I mean, you feel, it feels like you're there all the time. There's enough way you can be there all the time.
Yeah.
So are you taking certain days and creating content to use throughout the time, or are you just doing it, finding times throughout the day, recording and posting later?
Yeah, and posting later. So I just take time. So sometimes I don't feel like dressing up, but I'm like, you know what? I need to, so I can post like my outfit of the day. Or, you know, I don't feel like working out, but hey, that's content to post that I'm working out. Or, you know, just I think about what I'm going to post for that day. So I don't post it right away. I do, you know, I take it in the morning and I post it in the afternoon or at night. But, you know, I try to post. Like, I think last week, you know, it was already 7. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't posted anything. But I did record a lot of the stuff, like our monthly meeting. We celebrated one of the agents' baby shower. I recorded, but I just didn't have time to post it. So I'm posting this like at 8, 9 p.m., but it was stuff that already happened in the morning.
And you're the one doing it, though. So you're creating and posting it.
Yes, I am. Yeah. For the city real estate, social media, it's my assistant. She does post everything there. But my social media, I do it myself.
Okay.
And I like doing it myself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, we can tell you like it. It fits your. And here's the difference too, because I can see it. It's very clear when you have somebody who has hired somebody else to post their social media stuff, and you can tell it doesn't get nearly the same kind of engagement, and it's very generic and kind of bland, even if it's specific to something that they've done, like they just close this or close that, but it still feels not very authentic, right?
Yes.
And that stuff doesn't work, and people pay nice money for that, and you don't get the results.
No, yeah, you have to post, you know, personal and business. You don't want to just keep posting real estate, because there's a lot of people that are not ready to buy right now, and they're like, oh, this is boring. Let me unfollow her. I'm not going to follow her. So I try to keep it, you know, entertaining. And I have a lot of people that tell me, I can't wait to see your stories. You know, you post something, I want to look at it. I want to see what's next. So I know that I have to keep posting.
Yeah, and I'm always entertained by even the stories when something didn't go well. When you're, you know, whether it's
when I get a ticket, I'm
when you
get pulled over.
That kind of stuff too, and I'm like, what is going on with her?
I don't like to do my stops 100%, but I do look before. You know, I don't just run the stop sign.
It's more of a yield sign than a stop sign.
Going to my house, there's probably like the street to take it to my house. There's probably like 6 stops. So at night, I worked all day. I went to work out, and I have to go through all those 6 stops. That takes it longer. So I think I've gotten pulled over probably 6 times.
Oh my!
In the same spots, but they've let me go. I mean, the police officer, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm just.
They probably know you by now.
Yeah, they know me. Yeah. So they're like, how do you not get tickets? So the first time they pulled me over, it was with the new truck that I had gotten, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I literally stopped in the middle, like, and went. And he's like, you stopped it. I'm like, this truck drives itself. I just got it. I don't know. I used that excuse for like 2 to 3 times. But after that, I'm like, no, they're not going to believe it.
All right.
Now I just tell them, I'm sorry. I didn't even see. You know, I wasn't paying attention.
All right.
I don't know. But they let me go. It's been a lot of warnings.
Have you gotten any business out of them yet?
No. Laura actually sent me a meme that says, do you know why I pulled you over? Because that's what they asked. They're like, oh, because you want to buy a house? But there's some that have seen my signs, and they're like, oh, you're a realtor. And, you know.
I
haven't.
Yeah, they probably appreciate that you're getting off work late, and you know, let it
and then
go.
they see my address. It's like she's
right
there.
here. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you try to get that so even with the social media stuff, and one of the things, you know, we're trying to get, and the reason we're spending so much time on the social media aspect is It's the
thing,
easiest, and it's the easiest way to do it. I don't know what people are.
and you don't have to pay for it. Oh,
Yeah.
there's people that sponsor videos, which is fine.
Right.
I've sponsored some, and it's worked. There's something new that I started doing, but you have to invest. I mean, you have to do it.
And so, but it drives me crazy that we have these conversations and we tell people, hey, all you have to do is kind of engage on social media, be somewhat, we always start with the 3 E's, be somewhat entertaining, educational, encouraging, those 3 E's. And if you can kind of put them all together, it's even better. But, have people that just can't bring themselves to do it.
Yeah, and to tell you that a lot of people is like, just can't record myself and talk, and I'm really shy as well. Like, I might not seem like it because I'm always recording myself, but it took me a while to get there, but I knew that I had to post myself and talk in front of the camera to be able to show them the real me. But it takes time. There's sometimes that takes me 10 times before I post something, but I don't show that, obviously. But, you just have to keep trying and trying. They're not going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I record because I hate the way I sound. I don't even go back and look at it.
Yeah.
I don't go back and look or listen.
Yeah.
So you just post it and just won't pay attention to it.
It was a live video the other day, and my dad was like, "Oh, you did good." I was like, "I guess I did. I don't know because I'm not going to go look at it."
Yeah. So it's just, you have to, if you post a picture of a flyer of a house, it's not the same as you talking about it. You're going to get more engagement of you. Or if, let's say I take a picture of a house, but if I'm in the picture with the house, I'll get more engagement.
Without a doubt. And so that's one of the things that people can learn to kind of master that. They can really kind of control. That's kind of what we've been, the theme here, right? They can really be the thermostat. They can control stuff. And those who sit back and just wait and hoping that somebody sends them a lead and that
not
kind of
just
thing.
social media, just like open houses, like, what's her name?
D Walton, yeah.
She does open houses and it works great for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much that you can do, especially I got a message from this new agent said, what would you recommend to a new agent that has too much time to themselves? Like, yeah, that's not, even as a new agent, I never had too much time because even if I didn't have clients, I will schedule showings to go record the houses.
Right.
Even if I wasn't showing a client, just to get content
Right.
for social media, I will go to the new builds communities, trying to get information to post about it or let my clients know the specials that they have. I mean, there's so many things you can do as an agent, as a new agent. You can do so much for you to grow but you can't just sit there and expect business to come.
Right. So Jane Doe comes to you and says, hey, I'm brand new. If there's one thing that I need to start doing right away to try to get business, what would it be?
I would say social media. Start posting, do open houses. When I started, that's what I did. I knew that social media was a thing because, like I said, I had no idea how real estate worked. But I started searching and seeing how other agents were doing it, posting on social media. So I knew that was a thing. So, social media and also open houses. I would do open houses every weekend. There was weekends that, I would go out the days before and I didn't want to do it, but I was there. There was weekends that I didn't have anybody show up to my open houses, but I was still, I still kept doing them every weekend. And, I did get a lot of clients from open houses. Obviously, I don't have the time for open houses anymore. But if I had the time, I would be out there doing open houses, passing out flyers, just anything you could do to grow your business. But definitely social media and, reaching out to all your contacts, making sure that they know that you're in real estate.
So your social media, the platforms you use, do you do Facebook? But Facebook's not your
no, it's
driver.
Instagram.
It's Instagram is the thing.
I get a lot of TikTok. No,
Did you say you get on there?
Yeah, I get on there to look at videos. But my assistant posts this for me. I mean, there's sometimes that I'll post in there, but it's not like a platform that I've gotten. So I've probably got a little bit of clients, but not as much as Instagram.
Right.
Instagram is my big one.
Okay. Instagram, and what do you do from Instagram? You just have that stuff post to Facebook? Or
Yes, it posts to Facebook, yeah.
Gotcha.
So my stories and my post to Facebook.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It is easy. I don't have to be going
right, back and forth. You can just send us. For the reason I can't always, my stuff doesn't always.
You have like 2-3 different pages on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to
maybe
make sure
some of them aren't you, but
yeah, some of them probably aren't me, and that's why I would say
you gotta make sure it's connected to your Facebook.
Yeah,
because they're
connected.
And you always know
now, whatever it's called now, anyway. So it's connected anyway.
And you're too old for a platform when your stuff keeps getting hijacked or somebody creating new or fake versions of you. I was like, I'm just too old for Instagram.
Or you may just be
But like
celebrity.
Huh?
You may be a little celebrity or something.
No.
my
They used
sister,
to get me all the time on
Yeah, they
Instagram.
did.
yeah,
all the time.
my sister gets a lot of leads from Facebook.
Okay.
Instagram doesn't work
Yeah,
as much for
yeah.
her, but Facebook does. So everybody has their.
Is your
you know-
sister a realtor?
Yeah, she's
okay,
a realtor.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the her sister is really when she started. So let's go back to that.
Right,
Real quick.
yeah. Refresh
Yeah.
my memory.
Yes. So when you got into this, you were already thinking about you and your sister doing
as a
this.
team.
As a
We're gonna
team.
be together as a team. So when I created the name City with the Y, because we went through a lot of names, but then I came up with the idea. I'm like, what about if we do CY for Nancy and then Kathy TY and call it City with the Y? And she's like, yeah, but how would you even say that? I'm like, City.
Right.
It's just with the Y. She's like, are you sure it's not like Sidey? I'm like, no, it's going to be City. And I will get so mad at her because she would say, oh, it's Sidey. I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh.
It's City with a Y. But it's because her name and we put the names together. But it was supposed to be just like a sister team.
Yeah.
But then she decided to wait to get her license, and I already had everything. Like my Instagram, I already had everything under City. So that's how the group was created without her. But, she's part of it because of the name.
Okay, so how does that go? So, by the way, I don't think we talked about this. So, last year, and we had you, I can't remember when we had you on last year, but we were talking mostly about what you had done previously.
Yes.
But since the year is already over, we're here in May. What is this? At the end of April.
Yeah.
So, Nancy was the number 2 producer in both volume and number of transactions. She closed 104
104
transactions by herself.
Yeah.
Y'all,
By
104.
myself. My team does their own production.
The team has. We're gonna talk about the team in a
She
second.
combine their numbers with hers.
Right? Yeah, the team got their own numbers. She's got her own numbers. So 104 transactions. That was 30 point something
30
million
million,
dollars.
30 something million. Yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then your team, which was created just to be a sister team,
Yes.
ends up with about 32 people.
Yeah.
And y'all did 100 and what?
138 million.
138 million.
Yeah, we were number 1.
You were number 1 there.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that is correct. You and number 1 by a nice little piece too. It
Yeah.
was not
Yeah.
not very close. Sorry, Team Burns. I know they might be listening like, yeah, but number 2, y'all were number 2. So how does the sister team, the deal that was set up just to be the 2 of you all, how does it turn into this 32 person, 100 and
and I never advertised the team like, oh, come join my team. I never posted any of that, but I will get agents message me and tell me, hey, I want to join your team, because they saw when I used to post videos, and it was mostly all new agents that will reach out to me. And I think like 3 of them were family members and the other ones were friends. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it together. And, before I joined Monument, I had to train them myself. So everything that I know, they know, because I trained them all,
Sure.
The way that I was working. So it all worked out. I mean, it started with, I think it was like 5 of us, and then it just kept growing and growing, just, and that's without me, posting about joining my team. It's just people wanting to join my team because they will see that we were producing and saw what we were doing. So
absolutely.
that's how I started growing.
And productive people like to be around productive people.
Right.
And so what happens
And I was a new agent with the team.
yeah, right.
But
How long had you been in the business before you started a team?
no, I started it when I got
Oh,
my
when
Right.
you first got
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it was going to be my sister and I.
Right,
together,
right,
But
that's
it
true.
didn't work
Yeah.
like that, so I just kept it as that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember what your production was? Because how many years is this now? So this is year
It's
what?
going to
for
be
you?
5 years in
Oh,
June.
that's all?
That's all. Yes, it's
Oh
5
my
years.
5 years in June. Yeah. So my first listing was $1 million listing. And, that's how I started, and I remember a lot of my friends and family, they wouldn't reach out to me because they thought I was just doing luxury listings, which I wasn't. It was just, that was my first listing. So,
Right.
And I was working with a builder that will build, $1 million homes. So I will post those homes. So I couldn't wait until I got like a regular home. So once I got a regular home, I posted, I said, I work with any
All
price
right.
point, not just, so that's how I started,
Right.
going.
You say and your business went up because
Oh,
all of
yeah.
a sudden people were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she does.
gets-
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think the balance is? What's the mix now? I know you do a lot of high end stuff, but what about just the normal average?
No, I do more of, I think the average is like 300 or 400.
Okay.
Yeah. I do some high end, but mostly it's in that price range.
Gotcha. So, and then you hear all these people say there's nothing out there for that price range. And there are a lot of agents saying, hey, look, I gotta go get this 9 to 5. I can't do this because I can't do anything.
See, another thing that I see that a lot of agents do is when a client's approved, they tell them, okay, what cities are you, where are you interested in? And they say, oh, well, Sigleville, they just say certain cities. And sometimes it's hard to find something in those specific cities. So what I do, I'm going to tell you my secret. I tell them, okay, how far do you want to be from a certain address? Either your job, your mom's, or, how far are you willing to go? So when they tell me, I'm like, okay, I need that address. And when I set them up in a portal, I put the address and I put how far. Like, let's say they say 25 minutes, I put 25 miles. So that makes the portal, have more cities, more homes that they can look at. And there's sometimes that they go, oh, we didn't even know about this city, and it's only 25 minutes from my job. So that's how I do it, because I show them, there's more out there. I do see a lot of agents doing that they just put certain cities on that portal, and it's going to be hard, especially in that price range. So you want to spread it out. And sometimes they're willing to drive 40 minutes. Yeah. I mean, you just have to ask.
Sure. Well, and that's you being the person who has the knowledge. You're the expert here. So you're the person that needs to, they're the boss, right? You're doing this for them. But
and they trust you.
And they trust you because you're sharing your knowledge, and you're making them understand, and you're being honest. Like, hey, look, this area you're talking about right here, I didn't have that, right?
No, and I tell them, I'll still put it in the portal, but just so you can have more. And if I see, I have somebody in a portal and they're not liking any homes, I contact them. I'm like, hey, I see that you're not because I tell them to heart the home so I know which ones are their favorites. Do you want me to update the portal? Maybe we can go a little bit farther. Are you okay with that? And they say, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. And then we find a house next week. So you just have to keep up. You can't just leave them there and, just have them looking and not finding anything.
Right.
And I know you said you try to get people on a contract the same day, right?
Yes. Yeah. The same weekend that I take them, because I tell them, let's look as much houses you want to see, because I want to spend the time and I want them to see as many houses before they make the decision. But usually that same day, they know which house they want.
What do you think your percentage is of those that you're able to get done in that weekend?
I think 80%.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joella's like, she's impressed because she's like, I've never worked with an agent that can get them on the contract. Like, on Monday, she's like, I have all these contracts for Nancy that we
Right. That's good.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
how you
and
should
I
them
try.
over.
My goal is always to do at least 3 to 4 contracts that weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, like, what's your goal? Like, and even with clients, do you have like a goal for each month or?
Yeah. So I put goals. Like, I try to do 10 closings or more. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Like, this month I'm only closing 4, but next month I'm closing 17.
Right.
So
it balances out.
It balances out. And, what I did with my team, at the beginning of the year, I created a folder and I told each one, okay, how many houses do you want to sell for the year? And they told us, we laminated the house. So we have, and I'll show you after, but we have the houses in a little paper and they're laminated. So every time they close, they put an X on it. So it's keeping they're looking at it, and I'm like, carry this folder with you all the time, because this is going to keep you accountable that you have to sell, that you want to sell that many houses. Right. So every time I close, I go in that folder, and my goal was 120 homes. So I have 120 little houses printed in that paper.
Right.
And I look at it, I'm like, okay, I'm in track. I think I can do it. So, but you have to keep looking and making sure you're in track.
Right. Very good.
And I didn't used to do that before.
I was going to say, the last time we talked about it, you didn't really keep up with it. It was kind of like,
I don't like to. And Connie would tell me, you don't keep up with it. I'm like, no, I try not to, because I don't want to work harder. I don't want to say, oh, I need to do that. But now I'm like, you know what? I think it's good. Let me do it. And if I don't reach the 120, it's fine. But at least I tried.
Right. And you're a cup half full person. You're always going to see it as half full as opposed to half empty.
Yeah, I'm really competitive, but I'm competitive with myself.
Right.
Like, I just try to do better myself. Even with, I used to run 5Ks, 10Ks. I was number 1, even though I never ran that fast, but I didn't want to see people in front of me. So I would run. At the end, I'm almost dying, but that's just how competitive I am with myself.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And I think that helps a lot with the business, because,
It does. And with you being, and you're not, one of the things that happens with a lot of agents too is that they victimize themselves because they are so busy trying to compare themselves to other people who are much more established and all that kind of stuff, as opposed to just kind of running their race, right?
Yes.
And so how would you help somebody understand that, hey, look, yeah.
Just compete with yourself.
Right.
Give yourself a goal. So every year I try to double my production, and I set goals. Like this year, my goal was to do more production and also do more content. The different content that I didn't do the year before, just to try different stuff. So you have to give each other, you have to give goals to yourself. That way you know that you're going to meet them throughout the year.
So then if what's the goal again for this year? 120?
120 homes.
Okay, 120.
But I do want to do more volume.
Okay, gotcha.
I do, even if I don't do the 120 homes, as long as I do more volume.
More than 30 million.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're well on your way. If you're already 8 million in the quarter.
Yeah, I did 8 million last quarter.
The weakest quarter of the year.
And all my years I've always started slow.
Yeah.
And that's when I take my vacation. And the thing is, for January, I took like a almost 3-week vacation.
Oh yeah, we saw the vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did you go?
we go through we vacation
We feel
vicariously
like
through
we're
you.
with you because you posted something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where you had the bed that got pushed out
Pushed
onto
out of the
the.
bed.
Wait, where did you
we
go?
We went to Tulum.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
we went to Tulum,
Nice.
and that's the time that I take vacations because I'm like, it's the slowest. Let me get it over with and get my tan for the year, and which is fading away now. I need to go again.
Now, you got no, seriously though, because you got to stay somewhat rejuvenated. You got to rejuvenate yourself and recharge because what you do is very taxing. So do you have like a vacation or something like planned quarterly, or you just kind of?
No, I just kind of
just go.
And my fiance, he's the one that like plans the trips, but I get so mad at him sometimes. Like I can't do a 10-day trip. Like it has to be 3 or 5 days. Like I can't, But for the beginning of the year, I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide. It's the beginning of the month, so it'll be good. But yeah, you have to do that. Or sometimes, I'll go get a massage, or the IVs help a lot.
I saw you doing the IV stuff. So
Yes.
and now was Joella's birthday the other day?
Yeah,
y'all were
and
doing
that's
it?
all she wanted. She's like, I just want to be at home with my pajamas and get IV. And I'm like, okay, we'll do that.
Okay, so explain it, because I know some people like IVs. They're thinking like,
So it's basically vitamins.
Yeah.
Instead of you taking them,
Yeah.
it's directly to your body, and it gives you energy. They do the B12 shots. Like we get everything, and I try to do it at least once a quarter.
and so it does work, or is it
yeah.
mental?
Yeah. What do you think? I woke up at 5:30.
Let's see
No,
you do
it
it.
does.
Let's see you do it again tomorrow. then.
Yeah, let's see. But it does give you that energy, and I feel like it works. It works really good, and we need it.
Right. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
You know what I enjoyed seeing on your social media one time when you posted you paid off your parents' house. That was like the best thing.
That was my
ever.
first. So my first goal when I started real estate, I said I'm gonna take my mom out of what my mom used to. She's always been a stay-home mom, but she used to babysit kids. And my first goal was to be able to get her out of babysitting kids and just take care of mine, and for me to be able to pay her. So I paid my mom as a W-2 employee, but that was my first goal. My second goal was to pay off their house. So I felt very accomplished when I did it. I have a manifest notebook, and I write everything down, everything that I want. I write it down, and when I scratched that off, it felt so good. I was like, okay, I did it. But that was my second goal to do.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see.
Then
And
my third goal was to purchase my dream home, which I am doing.
Got that
it.
done.
So, but first I wanted to take care of my parents
Right.
before I.
right.
That tells a lot about you, that you're you're very humble, you love your family.
Yeah.
You're not just
No, I
showing off your money and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've always said it because people ask me about you all the time, because they see kind of big personality. And I was like, well, she's really not that. She appears like that, but she's really kind of soft spoken and kind of quiet.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think I was most impressed by you though is even showing up to the monthly sales meetings and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of blend in with everybody. You talk to everyone. It's just like it's not. You're just one of the. You're just another one of the agents.
I don't see myself higher than anyone.
Right.
Everybody works the same.
And some people do get kind of inflated egos because everybody else is looking at you like
Yeah.
that. They're like, okay, no, that's that's Nancy Garcia, blah blah blah. But even when and Connie has that. Y'all both have that very understated kind of quiet personality. I think that's probably why y'all are my favorite agent.
Top 2 favorite? Is that?
Hey, no, yeah, top 2 favorite. Top 2. I got to do Tanisha too. So my top Tanisha and D and okay. No,
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing?
I know I'm done. I'm messing up. So everybody, I love all real estate agents, right? So, but no, I just really think that is the really cool thing
You
about.
have to stay humble.
Yes.
You know, and that's the way I grew up. You know, my parents always said you have to stay humble, and I've done it that way.
Yeah, and I think you just come from hardworking folks. You didn't start. Nothing was given to you. You really kind of had to make it happen, and you had to make it happen in something that for those of you who don't know. In real estate, you either make it happen or you don't get paid, right? This is there's no salary associated with this. They have to go make it happen. Yeah. And you just jumped out there and did it. And you left you were very successful. Like right out of high school, right? Weren't you doing the
I was right away. I started working at Metro PCS.
At Metro PCS. She was their top sales agent.
Yeah.
And ended up having a bunch of different stores. She was the one who started doing, it's commonplace now. You hear about bundles that you bundle this, you get your.
I will tell them when you pay your phone, we'll give you a bundle that you get the Bluetooth, before Bluetooth, the case, and the car charger, and and you get a discount with it. Even though they were getting a discount, but I will make it like a bundle and a discount. So, my competitor side's there because they'll have all the stores and who was number one. So I always wanted to be number one. So I will come up with different ideas on how to be number one. Right.
And so, but then you ended up leaving that, and you kind of took those same skill set to real estate, and just kind of blown it out. And so, it's amazing. We just wanted to visit with you again because you're doing such great things.
Yes.
Now I think the last time we asked you, we were asked what was on your playlist. We know you're a big Bad Bunny fan, right?
I am. Well, I'm not really like crazy about music.
No, that was.
I do listen to a podcast that when I work out, I listen to a podcast. It's called Pan Dulce, and it's like just all music, English, Spanish, just all together. But I really enjoy it. I've been listening to it for a while. But it keeps when I work out, that's what I listen to. When I drive, I really don't listen to music because I'm always on the calls. Phone. Yeah. I'm always on. That's when I have time to make calls.
Now, are you driving?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have a driver.
Really rare. Well, it's really rare that somebody will drive me, but there's some weekends if I have like 20 showings, I'll tell my 19-year-old, hey, you're driving me today.
Right.
Like, and he's like, oh my God. I'm like, and it's good because he sees how hard I work.
Right. And has he learned to not just leave you at a place?
Oh, yeah. No, he learned. Yeah. The first time, he literally went to the gas station and came back. I'm like,
doing?
So now he takes his snacks.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
And
maybe get on the phone or something.
It was like 2 weekends ago. We were showing 20 homes and all over DFW. It wasn't just, And he's like, Mom, I need to use the restroom. Like, I'm like, no, you get off with me at the house. You can use it. He's like, oh, okay. And he wanted to go with his like pajamas, and I'm like, no, because if you have to get up, you have to look presentable. Right. You're my son.
Do you think he plans on getting into real estate?
Actually, he's about to take his test for lending.
Okay.
Yes, and Joella and I have a plan for him. Good. We want to put him as on the DHI side, since I do a lot of DR Horton.
Right.
We want to put him in the DHI. So right now, I think he takes his test tomorrow. So hopefully he passes.
Okay.
Wow,
nice.
that's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good luck to him.
I know.
Well, cool. Well, Nancy, this was wonderful. We appreciate you. And here's the other thing, too. So Nancy is also a recruiter here at Monument Realty. And Nancy also knows that, and you've got a big fan base here in the Southwest area, so Arlington, Grand Prairie, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, all those places too. So we're trying to grow our presence in Arlington, but Nancy recruits to all of our Monument offices. Yes. So Nancy, if you want to, if anybody wants to reach out to her who's thinking about getting into real estate, or you're in real estate and it's just not, well, I'm not going to say she's going to make you close 16 deals a month, but she can definitely help you get to a better place than where you are. And so, Nancy, you want to let them know how they can contact you?
Yeah, they can call me or text me to 214-609-7867, or my Instagram, NancyTyRealestate.com. I mean, real estate.
Okay, do it one more time because I'm not sure what it was.
It's NancyTy Real Estate. Because I was trying to put it together with the city. So Nancy Ty Real Estate,
Gotcha.
But if not, you can always call me or text me to 214-609-7867.
And we also need to get you 3 more buyers for next month. So we can have 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll have a busy weekend.
Yeah. She's got room. We're gonna try to fit 3 more people in her new house this weekend. But Nancy, we appreciate you so much.
Yes.
And everybody, thank you. If you like this, please. What am I supposed to say again?
Subscribe,
share. Yeah, one day.
Give us feedback too.
Yeah. Let us know what you think, and then by all means, we look forward to seeing you next time.